Hello, everybody. This is Gaelynn Lea from Duluth, Minnesota. I lit a candle for you, and I'm just going to play some instrumental music, just kind of a chill improvisational, no singing today, just to kind of create a different atmosphere. And after I'm done playing, if you want to stick around and chat with me, I would love to check in with you. Today, for me, has been really anxious for some reason. I woke up feeling just very anxious, and I think this will be good medicine for me, and I hope that it's good for you. I can see some of you on the screen, although I can't read the comments super well, but if you're there, give me a wave, and if you want to stick around afterwards, please do, because it would be great to talk. So I'm going to get started. This is just an hour to contemplate. Feel free to look at the candle. I will be doing that too, and go into your own place, or just put it on as background and join me later for a conversation. So thank you for coming. And I see, Penny and Sarah, and a lot of people Tina is there. I'm glad somebody from Paris. Bonjour, merci pour regarder. And yeah, everybody else who showed up, I'm just excited to be able to play for you. So here we go. Okie dokie. I think that is probably all the improvising I have in me at the moment. So I'm going to have Paul maybe grab my violin and then I'll come up and talk to you. And I'd love to get your feedback and also just check in to see how you're doing because it's a very weird time to be alive all over the planet, as we know. So, one moment and I'll be right there. Thank you, my dear. I want to put the pedals on too. It'll work. Thank you, my dear. Or yeah, I don't want to run that over. Here we go. Hello. So, I guess should I blow out the candle or keep it? I kind of like it. What do you think? Oh, thanks for listening. That is the candle from my painting. Actually, it's a different one because that one burned out, Bartek. Does anyone want to chat at all? Or are you guys, how are you doing? I've been having a kind of a rough day, actually. But every day is different, so it is. I'll keep it. Okay, good. I'll keep it lit. Yeah, having a rough day, but music does make you feel better, so that's why I decided to keep doing it, even if I felt kind of crappy when I woke up. How are you guys? What's new? Oh, thank you, Sylvie. Anyone want to check in? I hope you can hear me. I think you can. What have you been up to today? Well, today, as I said, I woke up feeling kind of real anxious, so I took a bath and just tried to chill out, basically. So, and then played this show. So not a whole lot today, to be honest, but I'm hoping tomorrow I'll feel better so that I get more done. I keep reminding myself that everyone else is in the same situation. It does help to remember that. I agree. Oh, cool. Thank you for listening. Yeah, really bad allergies. Yeah, I've been feeling kind of like a little under the weather too, but I'm sure it's not anything because I haven't been outside in like 3 weeks. But that doesn't help anxiety either, right? I know. Penny says, I have a new appreciation of the internet. I was just thinking about that this morning. I think it would be really, really hard if this had happened even 10 years earlier, where only a few people really knew what they were doing with the internet. It's like so much better to have connection this way. And I mean, I think the reason my anxiety was high is I realized now, because I'm high risk for, like getting really sick. Like, I don't know when I'll be able to tour again. I know it'll be eventually, obviously, but taking more time off than I was maybe thinking initially is probably what's going to happen from the road. And without the internet, it would make my career really hard. What are we doing to kill the boredom? Again, double-edged sword, a lot of internet to kill the boredom, which is not helpful. So I have been trying to paint, and then we every night have been listening to Scottish folk traditional music, which is kind of a random new thing. My husband and I just listening to new songs that we hadn't heard before. He says he sleeps to kill the boredom. You know what's funny is I think we were in a weirdly good position for this to happen because our lifestyle has been very erratic for the whole time we've been touring. So when we're home, we really are homebodies. So this actually doesn't feel too weird. It's just the level of anxiety that's weird. So connecting with a lot of people, Gloria is doing that, she said, and I totally agree. I think I've been on the phone more this week than my entire life, probably. So, she's been meditating by transplanting tomatoes and peppers. Totally a good idea. I did start some little seeds and they're doing pretty good. So I agree, Sarah. That's a good way to pass the time. Having things living is helpful. I will be working on new music as much as I can, but I must admit with anxiety and like stress, I haven't been feeling like, oh, I'm going to sit down and write a bunch of songs because I don't know. It's a weird time to be alive, but I love improvising. So that's why I was excited for this show because I still feel music inside of me, even if I don't feel like, oh, I have a lot of creative extra energy. For some reason, improv is always there no matter what. It's like a constant stream. So that's why this show is fun. So Kangaroo said, I appreciate the post on Facebook about the choice we make. Oh, yeah, I know. People staying home is so important. And I think in what I've seen is that hopefully people are taking it seriously. Like in Minnesota, I know they are, but it's a very scary thing to be in a vulnerable population and then wondering what kind of care you would get, especially if they're overloaded and making choices between patients. That's really creepy to think about. So I'm not going outside until it's like the all clear for real. So, in Ireland, the postal service sent our postage paid postcards to each home to send to relatives and loved ones as an initiative to write a postcard. That is so sweet. Oh, that is such a cool thing. Thank you for sharing, Lynn. Yeah, I think postcards are something I want to send a bunch of, because, a letter, you can't necessarily sit and write 1,000 letters, but you can do a lot of postcards and still give the same sentiment. That's a really good idea. Anyone else want to? Oh, what Scottish music have some names? Um, I have been listening to the Corries, the McCallmans, and then the bagpipe. Paul, what's the bagpipe thing called?
Royal Dragoon.
The Royal Dragoon. So we've been doing those three. The Corries were our first discovery, and then the Royal Dragoon, and then last night we discovered the McCallmans. They're like from the 60s, and they played all the way through 2010. Oh, thanks for listening, Bartek. Greetings from Syracuse, New York. This performance made my day. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for listening. I just kind of wanted to say hello because last time I cut off before I got to talk to you, and then I had a Q&A, but a lot of people couldn't find it. So have I changed my mind about the 80s music yet? To be honest, Bartek, I haven't listened to the playlist because we have not unlimited internet. We have hotspot. So I was going to actually tell you this. If you make a YouTube playlist, I can watch it on my crappy dumb phone. I don't have a smartphone, so I can do if you make a YouTube playlist, my phone will do that, but it won't load Spotify. And it's not trivial because I should be learning a bunch of music while I'm home. So YouTube playlist would be better than a Spotify one. And then I promise I will listen to it because we've been listening to music every single night. And that has definitely helped pass the time. So, the Little Boxes song, what came up with the idea? I didn't write that song. Tina, that is a song from, I think, like the 60s. Her name was Malvina Reynolds. It's a song that she wrote about suburbs, I think, like kind of suburban living, kind of a change of like society going from cities to the suburbs. And I think that's what that song is about. But it's a folk song, and Pete Seeger covered it, and I played it. In case you're wondering why she's asking, I played it on my Facebook Live concert yesterday. So, Little Boxes is one of my favorites. It's actually the first song I sang in public before I ever wrote a song. Way before then. Oh, cool! I'm glad you like that version. It's fun. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bartek. That'd be awesome. Malvina Reynolds is rad. So is Iris Dement. I love their voices, even though they're both really unique. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I'm sure I'll feel better. I feel like everybody's, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it feel like everybody's kind of on this roller coaster, and some days are okay and then some days are really terrible and you don't really know why? I actually do feel better now because I knew playing would help. So anyone who has an instrument at home, go play it because it'll help you feel better. FYI, you should do that. Personal opinion. But yeah, everybody's up and down. Do you think this could have positive impacts socially or politically? I do think personally that if we are serious about it, there could be some really good changes. It's like we got so disconnected from what matters, I think, especially I can only speak for America, I guess, but everybody's so busy and so stressed out, and they work a ton, and they barely make time for themselves or their health or their family. I mean, not everyone, but it's a pretty common thing to be, myself included, like overwhelmed all the time with work. And this was a real eye-opener because right away when people weren't working, they went and like called all the people they care about. And, not spending money has been a good thing for us because I think I realized how mindlessly you can spend money. But then there's a problem that the government would have to solve, which is helping people not be so precarious because, obviously you can't have restaurants shutting down and like leaving people jobless if they go for 2 weeks without having customers, right? So I think national health care would really help that issue, and then better pay, but or just like more mindful consumption of stuff that we actually care about. I don't know. I do think there are some positive changes that could come. I don't know if they are going to come under this current leadership, but I hope that the American people and the people all over the world kind of think about, I don't know, how we're living, I guess. I think it's useful in that way. Yeah, I agree. See, like paid childcare and sick leave, Penny's saying, could come out of this, and that would be really cool. Yeah, and so we'll see. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen right away. And I know most people in other countries already have those things. We don't, though. And environmental consciousness, I agree, Gloria, that could be a positive change. And that might not have to, that might be something that the governments can't dictate. And we might just have to remember that the governments aren't going to save us all the time, right? Like, I mean, they're doing a good job, especially in Minnesota. I really like our governor. But I mean, we have to be responsible for our own choices too, I think. And it's helping me to see where I'm making choices that I shouldn't be, I guess, if that makes any sense. Oh, so Ali Bain, the Chieftains are well worth looking into. If I haven't heard them, I haven't. So I will. And pretty much everyone seems to agree that it's a roller coaster, for sure, because it is. Tina asked what's my favorite meal that my husband fixes. It's called egg roll casserole. It's just like cabbage, turkey, soy sauce, ginger, I don't know, some other stuff, carrots, onions, and it's like basically the filling of an egg roll, but with no egg roll, and then we put rice noodles in it, and it's so good. Lynn asked if I'm reading any books at the moment. I am reading a book called Metahuman by Deepak Chopra, and I'm on the fence as to whether or not I like it, but it's definitely thought-provoking. You know, he doesn't believe in like a God concept the way that most people do, and I do. So there's some differences there, but it's still thought-provoking to think about how consciousness, you know, kind of how we can tap into higher consciousness more regularly, mostly through meditation, which I'm really bad at, but I'm working on. That's one thing I'm trying. I know you can't actually be bad at meditation, but I am trying to make myself meditate and trust that it'll get better. Who has started Little Lies Everywhere on Netflix? It's so good. I have not. We don't have enough internet to stream shows, so I haven't really been watching TV. But is that not Little Fires Everywhere? Because that was a book that I tried to like, and I just could not get into it. And I know a lot of people liked it, but
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
I think so.
It's a Netflix series of that book. It might be a good TV series. I didn't like the book, but that was just me. Sorry, guys. All the fans of Little Fires Everywhere are gonna sign off now. Just kidding. Anyone else want to say something? We don't have to stay on forever. I just thought that'd be fun to check in because it is, man, it's weird. I mean, England's locked down for like 3 months. I feel like the US should be doing the same thing, but we're not. So we'll just see how long it goes, but we're all in it together the whole time, basically. Anyone else have anything to add or questions or any suggestions for how to make this week go by better? And would you want meditation music again sometime? I know it's not the same as a concert, but I was thinking that might be a fun thing to do some afternoons so that I can do different stuff. It has been great to check in. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, we're sending love to you too. Seriously, everybody take care of yourselves. Stay home. How do I shift from playing music to composing? Well, the stuff that you just heard was totally improvised, so that's not composed. It's just out of my brain. When I write songs, I usually have to start with an idea that appears after some magical unconscious thing happens in my brain, and then I can work on it. And so that's the part that's been hard in a stressed out time, is I feel like the access to the creative part is a little harder to reach when you're really high stress. So I think I'm going to limit all news this week for the whole week because I don't think it's helping. And then I think I might be able to get some creative juices flowing that way. So meditation is great. Try to check out Alan Watts' videos on YouTube. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay, cool. I will do the meditation again then because I was like a little bit on a limb, but I think it's fun. I love the candle. When I thought of that, I got really excited about this. Oh, you're checking out on news too. Yeah. I think I look at the Minnesota Department of Health website because I do want to know what's happening locally, but I can't take everything. Yeah, it's really overwhelming. Holy cow. I mean, yeah. And how many of you have been getting about 4,000 emails a day also about coronavirus? And some of them are really useful, like, hey, you're an artist, you should apply for this grant, or hey, there's this emergency fund. So I really appreciate people keeping us in the loop. But I mean, I've been feeling like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do, like, which is weird. But the emails we've gotten, there's been a lot of them. So, Midwest accent. Yeah, I know. It's true. Yes, from the brands right here. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you got your candle lit at home too. Yeah, it's fun to stare at it. I like the way they move. I wish I understood how fire works. Too many emails from Penny. I know. I mean, I think it's really cool that people are coming together, so I can't complain too much. But I think that coupled with the news was just making me feel really frazzled. And social media too. Yeah, I agree. Twitter is especially difficult for me. I can't spend any time on there this week. It's just too hard. And I mean, it's the way it is. That's the most intense platform for me, I think, because there's so much information. But, well, so should we say we do this in a week? Would that work? Come back in a week and do some more music? I think it'll probably be meditation bent, but if I write any new tunes or have a couple of specific songs, I'll share with you next week if that works at 2:00. And then I'm going to try to think of something fun to do on Friday night as well. Hey, as long as you're here, weekly meditation, that would be cool. Oh yeah, Bartek says Twitter is raw at the moment. No kidding. So I think, hey, wow, thank you, Seven the Goldfish. Fire is the process of oxidation, transfer of electrons from fuel to the air via oxygen, but it still looks so cool. I don't get it. But anyways, so I'm going to do this next week. And then on Friday, I think if it's nice enough, I'm going to do something outside because we live right on Lake Superior, so we don't even have to go anywhere. And I would really like to play some tunes, but it has to be warm enough. So at least meditation next week for sure. And if the weather looks cooperative, I might try to do something outside on Friday before the sunset. So I will keep you guys in the loop, but join me here. I'll make another Eventbrite, but just so you know, I'm going to make it free, and then you can just leave tips because Eventbrite takes a lot of fees. I didn't realize that. So we'll be changing it up a little, but you'll still be able to find the event on Eventbrite. So I'm excited to see you guys next week. Love you all. It is a really lovely view, and we enjoy it so much. We got really lucky because there's only one studio apartment in this complex, and it just happened to be open when we were looking. And it's not too expensive because it's a studio, so it's pretty awesome to be living so close to the lake, especially since we're regularly gone. So when we're home, it's nice to be right there. Yes, take care, you guys. Love you. I think we'll sign off now, but I will see you next Sunday afternoon for some more meditation. And and we'll be in touch probably on Friday too. Something or other will happen on Friday night. So take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening and for hanging out with me. See you soon.